It's better. Welcome to our talk. My name is Natalia. I'm a business development manager from Raccoon Gang. I help our clients to grow their business, and their business is often based on open edX technology. And today I will be presenting with Stefania.
Yeah, thank you, Natalia. I'm very happy I have the mic here, so it's possible to stay here. So welcome to this talk together with Natalia. I'm Stefania Trabucchi. I'm managing director in a company in Europe, in Germany, Abstract Technology. We are we are competitors, we are friends, we are together, we are community. We offer open edX for our client.
Thank you. So we think it's very important to reevaluate ourselves from once in a while, to understand where we stand. And today we want to suggest this talk about open edX's weaknesses and strengths based on different angles, on different perspectives. On perspective from software developers, from community members, from service providers, from educators and users of open edX. As we gather here together every year to share our knowledge, to synchronize on our expertise, to understand what's going on like in your background, because we have so different backgrounds. And what do we do here is that we build the future of open edX. So we are shaping the future of open edX. And we wanted to suggest this metaphor. Imagine that we want to build a new machine, a new car, like a Tesla, but a better one. Like if we want to build this a new great car, like it says on the screen, there is a, this company, Faraday Future, where they set themselves a goal that they want to build this premium electric vehicle with elegant design and state-of-the-art technology. So if we imagine ourselves to be those manufacturers, we need to understand, first of all, where we stand, like where do we want to go, what blocks us from getting there, and how we resolve those blockers. So Stefania and I, we come from a marketing working group. So we've done kind of a marketing research, and we want to share the results with you. And this, if we want to build this car, this Tesla, open edX Tesla car, we want to have a vision. We start with a problem that we are going to solve, right? We want to break it down to small pieces and apply our expertise to each of the pieces. So, as I mentioned, and Stefania will explain it a little bit further, this is a market research that we want to suggest for you today, and we would love to hear your opinion in the end about what we need to improve in our open edX, in our new Tesla. Is it performance? Is it safety? Is it comfort? So what is it? And this is where, please, Stefania, continue this. We want to share the results of our research.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe costs.
Cost as well. And,
Cost as well. So thank you for this part of introduction. And what is important to understand in our talk is we are looking at, you cannot hear me? No, not at all? Okay, then I will use this one. Okay. Excellent. So in our talk, what we wanted to achieve, and we hope we do it together with you in the discussion, is that we look at open edX with our experience being on the front line. We are at the beginning of the production line of open edX because we have to sales, we have to talk to our client, we have to convince them. We have a lot of situations when we lose our client, but we have to understand why. And so we concentrated in this talk to analyze it first, doing some research. So we started to understand if there is a problem. And to do this, we make different interviews. So interviews also with the different service provider, because we represent the marketing working group. So it was very easy, so to say, to speak with a lot of them. but we spoke with different clients, from corporate to university to NGOs, so also there to have different views on open edX. And we also contacted clients that we lost, asking why you choose another LMS, what was the problem in that sense. And of course, IE is a topic during the World Conference. We also compare some issues with ChatGPT. What is ChatGPT saying about open edX? So and this is the beginning of our journey. Very quickly, just that you have an idea how our research question has been. So we have focused on really 3, 4, 5 questions maximum to each group we selected. So asking the selling proposition. So in this case, for the service provider, we asked about the key selling proposition in open edX. Then we ask why the prospect choose this solution. Who do the clients select? Why the clients select open edX? And what is missing? The second group, as mentioned, are the clients, the prospect we lost, difference from different service providers as well. So always to ask, where are they coming from? How do they get the information? What is open edX in the internet, colleagues, and so on? To understand also how the selection criteria for big company or small company are when they have to start with a new project. So what LMS they decided then to go. This is the second part that we will introduce. So the main competitors in that sense, criteria, selecting criteria, and why they have not been satisfying selecting open edX. And our client was very, very focused because client knows open edX, so just 3 questions. How did they learn? What was the criteria for selecting it? And why have they decided to go with it? So the second step, so we spent more or less 2 months in these interviews and collecting a lot of material. And from there, we had to find a method to understand it and cluster it. So first of all, we selected the 4 groups. We put it together, but to do this, we had to, that's just the overview that we would like to share then in the marketing group. Ideally, we create a group where we discuss them really in details. But to understand better and to have, so to say, to break down and have some really good results, we create the patterns. The patterns are for us, we create 2 different approaches. So one is the technical patterns about the selection of the LMS, which means that, I'm moving ahead, yes, correct, yeah. So the technical criteria means how the view on the LMS they are selecting is technical in sense that which feature, for example, how many features, or does the LMS has a particular feature? This is how clients approach us sometimes, or which technology, which license is behind, how is it in the backend easy to, for example, manage users and so on. So this was the first cluster moment, so the technical criteria. And the second was important for us because we are looking to a solution based on our business perspective. So we want from the business side look at this because technical we know everything, but we wanted to do the other, jump to the other side and try to look from the business and sales perspective. In this case, and this is more where we then collected the final results, is because there we reduce our patterns in 6 different patterns, patterns which are the easy of use. So how is easy of use the solution OpenEdX? What about feature and functionality? How is important the customization? How much support and training is there? The scalability and the security. So, and here's the journey now. Somehow here is our journey when, so to say, building a better OpenEdX machine than Tesla will be really a significant undertaking for all of us and for all service providers that are in this audience. But with the right approach and mindset, it's possible to achieve the goals, and we believe in it. So here is the cluster based on our business criteria. Just to explain it, the gray one is where the client started to not see a problem in it, but saying, oh, maybe I would like to have this additional. So we are not calling them problems, but enhancement or
for improvement.
yeah, I call for improvement, for example, but is missing. Definitely something that is not full there. Sometimes it's something there, but not fully. So we recluster and reduce to make good categories from all the results based on this business criteria I mentioned before. And we have had exactly from the service provider the thought that adaptive learning, for example, is not completely there. The user-friendliness in the modern design is also not fully there. The limited third-party integration or the gamification side, and how is OpenEdX easy to upgrade, which I think could agree others in this room. But on the other side, it comes up very good things. So the other aspect of this research that we can take all these very, very big and important moments, positive moments, put them together and rebuild a good marketing definition of the platform. And this is, for example, always the scalability. OpenEdX is so good for the scalability that each of our groups confirm this. The low effort of customization was there. The very important part, because OpenEdX is, you can create courses in a very quick and short of time. The open source technology was everywhere important. And also because selecting OpenEdX is important because we have names behind this brand, which means that big name and organization are using OpenEdX. So this is the first results about the service provider thing, what the service provider thinks. Our idea with Natalia was to create then a backlog. So because as a service provider, it's normal for us to work with the backlog. So we say, okay, let's select, some of these idea to enhance the platform. Let's create a backlog and let's discuss this then. What can we do as Stefania? What can I do as Natalia? What can we do as service provider? What can we do in the community? What can we do in general? So this is, at the end, our main goal to go ahead, to look positive and to enhance the platform because we believe in it. So, and this is the selection that we made because, of course, so the main focus stay because it's there, is very, very important. But we also took some cards which is green, which are greens also on the side because we discovered that I just try to make some example to make it more clear. We discovered that scalability is really, really important and clients select OpenEdX because it's scalable, very scalable. But we are not, from the sales perspectives, we have not really numbers outside. So we would like to create numbers outside, an example to attract universities that have a lot of users to say, hey, look at this number, that's the scalability that we mean. We know, but we want to make it really more public in terms of a better understanding what scalability could be. And also, for example, the topic with the big names, we know a lot of names, but as Anand yesterday said, we have 4,500 instance outside. Do we have a list of 4,500 users, company or what else, that we can see who they are? No, we don't. So as a marketing group, we think we should face these action points and try to fill the gap.
Yeah, that's why this in the backlog.
And that's why it's in the backlog, exactly. The same so for the clients. The clients has been very, very interested in interest group to interviews because they mention very, very particular feature they are missing. So the reporting, but we know, for example, that edX is working on a new analytics solution. That's good to know. So they requested, but now we know it's going ahead. User management is not that easy. We know, I don't know if I'm not in the product working group, but probably we will then contact the product working group to talk about it and to discuss if there is something we can improve together. Platform setup is complicated. Of course, we see it differently as a service provider because we manage it every day. But if we want to reach out more project also in country where it's sometimes not so easy to pay a provider, they want to start alone, we should pay attention that it's not complicated anymore. Maybe we will create a light, just an idea, a light way out to or a light version of edX. Why not? It's an idea, okay. Adaptation takes a lot of time and effort. This is a little bit complicated. We discuss it quite a lot because on the other side, many others are saying, oh, it's super good edX because it's really high customizable. And also here we build a new backlog. So, and the backlog in this case is also we move the gray card and the green card in this backlog. Also here some examples, something stay there because we know, for example, SCORM support, it's there, is working, nobody is complying that it needs additional functionality, but is requested everywhere. So that's why we decided that could stay. But on the other side, the limiting reporting, we put it there to discuss, as I said, so for platform setup complicated. These, as idea, we want to create more tutorials. So it's our goal to create training, tutorial, videos, material that can help any newcomers, new service provider to start with the platform and reach out the community. That definitely will help. But we want to, or our goal is to create this material together and improve that. ChatGPT was very, very interesting. When we started to work with it, me and Natalia, we spent hours, really hours. It was at the beginning like a little bit, how can I say, Natalia, a game. No? She was using another solution, AI solution. I was using ChatGPT. Then we compared this IE software to see if they match. They were not really matching, indeed. That was a big surprise. But the most important piece of these cards and why we decided to put it on this research is because ChatGPT confirmed somehow exactly what the client we lost, what the service provider are saying, and what our client are saying. So the matching point was there, even if artificial voice spoke to us saying, hey, I see the problem and we can confirm. We don't like to call it problem, indeed, is my error now. We would like to point it out that it's just is a journey. Everything is growing, everything will be better, and together we want to go there. So ChatGPT explain us in the description, asking what is OpenEdX was one of the questions, for example, what is OpenEdX, or who is using OpenEdX, or why clients are choosing OpenEdX. So you test it out. It's really, really interesting to make this question to ChatGPT. And so technical complexity require major development customization effort, limited support. Implementing OpenEdX require effort and resource. And IUC, so this horizontal line is going through, is very, very, very similar.
What we already knew.
Exactly, exactly. And the same is with our green card, so saying, okay, support MOOCs is always, OpenEdX is always combined with MOOCs. High customization option is there. Handles large volumes of traffic, is the same as scalability. A lot of feature native in the software, powerful features. OpenEdX can be integrated with a range of other systems. Interoperability and open standards, this is something that nobody outside service provider or client told to us, but that was nice to mention it because ChatGPT mentioned this point, and it's true because we know it's there. Interoperability in terms of LTI integration is there from the beginning and is evolving and is a very, very, in my opinion, is a very, very important integration. But nobody of us is, how can I say, are using this method to promote and to sell OpenEdX. And one other thing is the community behind. So ChatGPT confirm and tell us, hey, OpenEdX is important, choose OpenEdX because there is a community behind. And this was a really, really great surprise, but we have been very happy about that. So backlog is the same. So the backlog, here we selected from our point of view, we know is a discussion that can go on that, is to reduce the technical complexity. So to work on this idea that if we reduce, probably more clients will come to us and will not come to us, but will come to OpenEdX and select OpenEdX and use OpenEdX. Limited supporters, we know that is not really true. So from our perspective as a service provider, but maybe is not public, this information. How in other cases, we see that there is not enough information in the right place, so we want to analyze, okay, maybe it's the information about support there, but not in the right, people is not finding immediately the discussion forum. Why they are not finding immediately the discussion forum? Or they are not aware that if you write something in the Slack channel, someone will give you an answer. So to try to close this ecosystem also of information and support that we have, that we know, but newcomer maybe are missing, or it takes too long and they move away. Now, because I think I spoke a little bit too long, sorry for that.
You made an excellent point.
Yeah, I would like to give you about the competitors in OpenEdX.
Thank you. This is another angle. Can you hear me? Okay, this is another angle that we were looking at. As we mentioned in the title, that we are going to compare OpenEdX against most notable competitors. How did we choose them? So we simply ask our friends and colleagues and kind of competitors, service providers, what do they feel like whether they know if the client came to the provider, but then selected another LMS, do they know which LMS they are usually choosing? And these 4 LMSs are those that usually OpenEdX loses to. So that's why you have them on the left side. And on the top, you have the categories that Stefania already mentioned, the one that, like the pattern. So, and what we are doing here, we are comparing, we are ranking the LMSs to each of the category to understand where we are standing. And as you can see, OpenEdX is highlighted. It's in the end, it's highlighted with red. When the category easy of use, we were thinking about the UI, because we selected this category and we were mostly focusing on the UI. And here, what our research, as we did some research, so we were looking in the internet, we were observing, we were trying to understand what other LMSs, how the UI looks like, and it looks that Canvas and LearnDash, they have kind of a modern UI, and Blackboard is somewhat outdated. And Moodle and OpenEdX, it's not particularly modern, not particularly like visually appealing, so it's something that we probably should work on. Another category is, okay, so I wanted to say that features and functionality, security and scalability, these categories we didn't actually compare because this is something that each of these LMSs is always improving. This is something that is always on the plate. We know that we are working on scalability and on the security. We are constantly adding features or working on them, as well as other LMSs. So we wanted to learn something deeper than this. And the next category that I wanted to talk about is customization capabilities. Just wanted to say that if you feel that you do not agree with that research, I will be happy, to learn about that on Q&A session, and because this is how you can contribute to this research, so that we can take it and work with it, and it will be more, it will be better. But what we learned so far is that, and I also wanted to say it, that this is the angle that we are looking from what people think, from what people know about these LMSs. We did not dive deep and understand and realize how exactly is easy or not easy to, to customize Moodle or OpenEdX. Important part here is that what people think, what clients think. So they think that Moodle and LearnDash are relatively easy to customize because they have a lot of plugins that can be easily installed, while, for instance, OpenEdX can be very, very challenging because it takes a skill, and knowledge to make those customizations. The next category is support and training, and here we can see that Moodle, it has a big, large community, it has official trainings, it has blogs and forums, so that's why it's green, and Blackboard and Canvas, they have help desk or support desk somehow, while LearnDash and OpenEdX, even though OpenEdX has a big community, but as Stefania already mentioned, it's not very easy to find for some clients, and they do not know that the community is active and can help. So this is something that we probably want to work on in the future. Also, we added 2 more categories, is a cost and internet presence. The cost, we connected this with how easy to upgrade, because the cost of these LMSs can be different. It can have different business models, so it doesn't really give us information to compare it. But in terms of upgradability, this is something that is connected with the cost, very, very well connected. So it looks like the Moodle, we learned that Moodle and LearnDash can be upgraded within several hours, which can almost never happens with OpenEdX. And the internet and the people say that it's quite challenging to upgrade it to the newer version. And here we were trying to compare upgrade from the one major version to another one. For sure, it's a bit subjective, because how we can compare it, since it all depends on complexity of the system, on which version we are going to upgrade and to which version. But this is something that we rank it. So this is how we understood the information that was there. And the last one I wanted to present is internet presence. It looks like Moodle and Canvas. They have strong internet presence. They have blog posts, website, all of these. And Open edX, our product, it's also, it has all of this, but it has less prominent online presence that we, as a server providers, want it to be. So what happens next is that, again, this is the result of that research. This is the cards that we wanted to highlight. So we selected that lack of user-friendly modern design, challenging and pricey to upgrade, less prominent online presence, and lack of official training and support. And in the same time, we should mention that it has great scalability, security, and a lot of features that are available for everyone. And here we put to the backlog these two, because another two were already there. So this is our backlog.
This is our backlog, and then what is coming next? This was our question. Now we know a little bit more. Sure, we have to talk to the different working groups about it, but in the backlogs, maybe we can start to take some small pieces in the marketing working group, definitely, and go ahead. But so our super Tesla car, it's not the Tesla, it's the Open edX electro machine. What was our idea now? So we wanted to have a call in this conference. We call it the Declaration of Intention. So we are convinced that we can use the effort of this incredible community. We have Tikrel with us. We have the service provider. We have a lot of projects in university and researcher that maybe can help us. So the declaration of intention is to find people that commit to this idea, to work on this backlog in small pieces, going ahead in progress to done. And we recognize in this research that the power is behind of Open edX, and we use this powerful solution to just improve it and go to, we call it Open edX Generation Alpha. We know is the next generation that will use it. So we wanted to give a name to our idea so that Tesla. Everybody, not Tesla exactly, but we wanted to call Open edX Generation Alpha movement, declaration of intention, groups, community, what else? Now, last but not least, because we are running out of time, we have an idea. We wanted to ask you if you can quick connect to slide.com. On slide.com, you can then, or you can use the code, or you can just add the number, so dash 1482809. And we can start, if you can, let me see if my internet connection is back again.
You will see a question there. It says type your question. Great, type it. Just a moment, it's probably the internet connection.
Yep, okay. So the first question.
Have you scanned this? Okay, good. Does it work?
Yeah. No, it's not working.
It's not working again.
It's now working.
It's not working. Okay,
It
great.
works, of course. Okay, excellent. So the first question is OpenEdX Generation Alpha. Do you think the backlog will be a game changer for OpenEdX in the future? You have 30 seconds.
And the results are visible, right? Yeah. Okay. So you see them, but we are not. No, I'm joking. We see them here.
It's just connected here. Okay. Can we go ahead?
Looks like it.
Okay. So the second question is now active.
So do we just refresh?
Yeah.
Good.
Are you interested in being part of this working group, drafting a declaration of intent and working together on goals and deliverables?
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So, what are the results? The results for the first one is that the most of the audience agree with the initiative.
Yay.
Yeah, woo. We have 31% that find the idea is good. We should go ahead and work on it. That's definitely what we probably need to do and discuss in the groups, as we said. And 29% the idea should be discussed. So we need a clear definition of goals, probably. So it's not the negative one, but something that we wanted to understand.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, exactly. The second answer, people is too busy, because most of the people is saying, oh, it's nice, but I do not have time to help. So you see the results. This is what we wanted to collect in this audience. So for us, thank you for coming, and we are open for questions.
And I just wanted to add that it's great that we have, working groups, and we were thinking with Stefania that probably we should connect with a product working group, because marketing and product, they probably has to work together to achieve the better results, and this marketing research should be a good start for that. So yeah, and thank you for coming, and we are open to some questions, and I guess we wanted to show this, so join us in the marketing working group or in the product working group to work on that backlog together, because the job is just started. It's not the end. So we will be happy to see you there.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow there is a marketing working group session in the afternoon. Check it out. And second, the marketing working groups meet every 2 weeks online. If you have question at what time is already on Wednesday, every 2 weeks in the afternoon. So our afternoon and in the morning for the United States, exactly. Okay, any question?
You post more questions?
Yeah, people are just under the Q&A.
Oh, nice.
To the Q&A section.
Okay. If I'm starting a new platform, would you recommend using edX or starting with something else?
You come to the wrong person to ask that. Because
Who was? You want to
I
answer?
will definitely recommend OpenEdX because aside from this marketing research, it has some great, as we already mentioned, it has great benefits to work with. And we have like a lot of, case studies. I mean, all of us, all together, all service providers, they can show anybody why this LMS most probably is a good choice. But for sure, it depends on the business that you have. Would you add anything else? No? Okay, great.
It's obvious, I guess.
It's obvious, yeah. Yeah, good question. If we only had the resource to work on one thing to improve the platform right now, what would it be?
The platform,
So
or
which, I presume, is intended, which of the backlog cards we put on the backlog could we select to start? Or only one?
no, from my point of view, I guess from the marketing, right? From the sales and marketing point of view, I would add the online presence because it's a great LMS, but it will be nice if people know more about it. So this is my choice. What would you say, Stefania? Do you agree?
Working in the community learned me that this kind of so selecting and which way we should go further, what should we select now, for me is like a kind, let's discuss it in the group. We have this system to take decision. It's not my decision, it's not my, is an open source, and we have to look at in this direction, so we have to discuss together and find what we have to pick up as the first things. But definitely from the sales perspective, it is our goal, so not less technical, but look at how we can convince client outside to move to OpenEdX or to select OpenEdX as a first choice.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I
Okay.
agree.
And then other question, did you notice any divergence in your research with clients that required multiple language support versus single language? Indeed not. There has never been mentioned. The language topic was, as far as I remember, because I work quite a lot on these materials, was never a topic. So in the other way around means, in my experience as service provider, that the language topic is full supported in OpenEdX and is excellent, so that nobody comes with the idea to say, well, I think it's really excellent. Customization come up as a both of strength and the weakness. Yeah. This is really one of the difficult point, and it's always a little bit for us very difficult because for clients and for service provider there has been quite a big gap between the perspective what is customization. Indeed, we thought about to maybe have go back to two groups and specify which kind of customization and where customization are a problem. Because in discussion, we also, at the end of each interview we made, we have had a discussion with these interviews, with these clients. And in the discussion, we have had this somehow customization could be single sign-on integration. Is integration, is not a customization, but they mean, oh, how difficult it is to integrate single sign-on with OpenEdX. Difficult, not difficult. Other people think in customization, oh, how is this the front-end customizable? Is it easy that my corporate design fits in 2 days of work, and then they send out, I don't know, 40 pages PDF corporate design, and you say, oh no, today so will not be possible. So customization is something, in this case, we should analyze it probably a little bit better. This was the idea we have had. Time, yeah. One question, not a question. I was surprised to hear Canvas described as a modern UI. Maybe that say more about how my institution use Canvas. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to learn, because the research could be subjective. So I would love to hear more of your thoughts. If you have time, let us know. This is a great, this is a great point that you're making. So we will, I would like to make it more objective so that we can work on that in the future. So it could be, maybe it's different angle.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a time out for the others.
Thank you.